Hello and welcome to Sabha TV. You're watching Today in Parliament with your host Rajya. Let's have a look at the top headlines. Rajya Sabha to continue discussion on Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Bill 2019. Bill aims to provide for protection of rights of transgenders. Also in Rajya Sabha, Chit Funds Amendment Bill 2019 listed for consideration and passing. Bill seeks to streamline operations of Chit Fund in India. And Lok Sabha to discuss NID Amendment and Prohibition of Electronic Cigarettes Bill today. Key bills include Taxation Laws Amendment Bill slated for introduction. Now news in details, and here is our top story in the legislative business in the Upper House today. The Rajya Sabha will continue discussion on Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Bill 2019. The bill aims to provide for protection of rights of transgender persons and was moved by Union Minister Thawarchand Gehlot last week. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will move the Chit Funds Amendment Bill 2019. The bill aims at further Chit Fund Act 1982 that seeks to streamline operations of chit fund in India and protect the interest of investors, mainly the economically weaker section of the society. The bill was passed by Lok Sabha last week. Nirmala Sitharaman will also move to withdraw the International Financial Services Centres Authority Bill 2019 in the Upper House. Now to more on the business of the Upper House and the Parliament, we are joined with a correspondent, Kriti Mishra. Kriti, thanks for joining us. Just 10 minutes to go for the sitting to begin in the House today. So what are we expecting?
Well, Rajat, as far as the Upper House is concerned, remember the productivity of the Upper House last week was more than 90%. In fact, the calling attention motion that was taken on air pollution, particularly in Delhi NCR, was the longest in last 13 years. Members also gave suggestions for enhancing the productivity of the House, and those suggestions were more than 83 in number. Absolutely, this is a fresh week. An important business is slated to be taken up in the House. As far as the agenda for the day is concerned, the House is expected to resume the discussion on Transgender Protection Bill. Remember, this bill provides for socio-economic as well as educational empowerment of transgenders in the country. And according to the census of 2011, there are more than 5 lakh transgenders in the country. And this bill seeks to protect them from sexual offence as well. But when discussion was taking place in the House over this bill, several members have urged the government to send this bill to the Select Committee of the Rajya Sabha for further scrutiny. They've also said that a commission should be established in the country for protection of transgenders. There's another important bill, which is a Chit Fund Amendment Bill. Remember, This bill has already been passed by the Lok Sabha, and this bill provides for orderly development and growth of chit fund sector and to protect the gullible investors. So these are the two important bills that are likely to be taken up in the Upper House today. Over to you, Rajat.
Right, Kriti, thanks for joining us and stay on for the session. We'll come back to you shortly. Now, moving on, a look at a new legislative business in the Lok Sabha today. 3 bills are listed for introduction in the House today, including the Taxation Laws Amendment Bill 2019 to amend the Income Tax Act 1961 and to amend the Finance No. 2 Act 2019. This bill will be introduced by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Nirmala Sitharaman will also move International Financial Services Centre Authority Bill 2019. The bill aims to provide for establishment of an airport authority, to develop and regulate the financial services market in International Financial Services Centre. Now, the Recycling of Ships Bill 2019 will be moved for introduction by Minister Mansukh Mandavia to provide for regulation of cycling of ships. Lok Sabha is slated to take up the National Institution of Design Amendment Bill 2019 for consideration and passing. The bill aims to amend the National Institute of Design Act 2014, which seeks to declare 4 National Institutes of Design in Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Assam and Haryana as Institute of National Importance. The amendment will authorize these institutes to grant degrees and diplomas to its students. The prohibition of electronic cigarettes production, manufacture, import, export, Transport, Sales, Distribution, Storage and Advertisement Bill 2019 is listed for considering and passing. The bill aims to prohibit the production, manufacture, import, export, transport, sale, distribution, storage and also the advertisement of electronic cigarettes. The Union Cabinet has given its nod to ban e-cigarettes in country in September this year. Members of the opposition parties, including the Congress, will move the resolution disapproving the prohibition of electronic cigarettes Ordinance 2019. Well, we're joined with Kriti, who continues with us. Kriti, thanks for continuing with us. Now, just take us through the business in the lower house today.
Well, Rajat, as far as the lower house is concerned, three important bills are slated to be introduced in the House. One, of course, is the Taxation Laws Amendment Bill. Remember, the government had promulgated the ordinance to ensure that the corporate tax is reduced on new manufacturing companies to provide a booster shot to income investment as far as and also employment generation, and also to provide a booster shot to the Make in India initiative. There's another important bill, which is the recycling of ship bill that would be introduced in the Lok Sabha. But as far as consideration and passage is concerned, the lower house will take up the bill that seeks to prohibit the sale, manufacture and also export and import of e-cigarettes, as well as National Institute of Design bill. So important agenda as far as the lower house is concerned. Over to you, Rajat.
Right, Kriti, thank you, and keep tracking developments in both the houses today. We'll be coming to you in intervals. Thank you for joining us this morning. Now, moving on in some other legislative business in Upper House, following ministers will lay papers on the table. Prahlad Joshi for Ministry of Mines and Ministry of Coal. Kiran Rijiju for Ministry of Minority Affairs. Mansukh Mandavia for Ministry of Shipping. Arjun Ram Meghwal for Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises. VK Singh for Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Arjun Ram Meghwal will also lay on tables the CAG report for the year ending March 2018. Union Government Commercial number 13 of 2019. Nitin Gadkari will move motion for election of National Board for Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises. And motion for election to National Tiger Conservation Authority will be moved by Minister Prakash Javadekar. Kiran Rijiju. The following ministers will lay papers on the table in the lower house today. Arjun Munda pertaining for Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Dharmendra Pradhan for Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Santosh Kumar Gangwar for Ministry of Labour and Employment. Prahlad Singh Patel for Ministry of Culture. Arjun Ram Meghwal for Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises. And Sanjay Sriram Dhotre for Ministry of Human Resource Development. And Anurag Singh Thakur for Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Santosh Kumar Gangwar will also lay on table motion for election of 2 members to Central Building and Other Construction Workers Advisory Committee. Well, that's it in Today in Parliament. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for the latest in the Rajya Sabha proceedings. Thank you.